Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I am sharing how I mastered the art of getting what I want. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So a lot of the time, productivity and goal setting is really about just going after what you want and getting what you want. And so in this video, I've put together a bunch of tips for you to get what you want, specifically in general, but mostly in like social situations or situations where you have to like interact with another person. I'm teaching you people skills in this video, basically, okay, with a little bit of productivity thrown in. So if you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is that if you want to get what you want and do it consistently, you have to communicate well, okay? There's no point in trying to get what you want if you can't communicate what you want, okay? So you need to be like very certain and very directional about your goals and about what it is exactly that you are after, what it is that you're aiming for, okay? So communicate well. And I've done a whole other video about specifically how to communicate clearly. So if you want to learn how to communicate in more detail, I suggest you go and check that out. All right, that being said, let's move on to point 2. And point 2 is really important because in essence, and I know this seems a bit like pessimistic, but in essence, humans are quite self-centered. So point 2 is to show how you can add value, okay? Personal marketing is absolutely key. You need to be able to demonstrate to the other person in the scenario what it is that you are bringing to the table for them, okay? So you need to not lead with what's in it for you, you need to lead with what's in it for them. And I'm going to talk more about this later in the video, but always show how you can add value. Like, say, you know, for example, you're applying for a job. In your CV, in your resume, you should put like achievements that you have done in other jobs, but you should quantify that and you should apply it to like the field that you're applying for, okay? So show examples from previous roles in quantifiable terms. It's really helpful if you use numbers or if you use like deadlines or some kind of like quantifiable like amount to show how you've built your skills and you will be able to benefit the team that you're applying to, okay? So always show how you can add value. Personal marketing is absolutely key. Number 3, this is kind of a lifestyle tip, but it's really important. And you need to avoid bad habits, debt, and addictions as much as possible. These things are going to slow you down. Now, it might seem obvious to say, but I think, and at a risk of sounding like unbearably old-fashioned, the modern world is more addictive than ever, okay? Everything is really convenient, it's really easy to get like caught up in distractions, okay? And I am not immune to this. Like, I get very easily distracted and, you know, I fall for convenient stuff which isn't necessarily good for me all the time, okay? So I get it. But if you can avoid like bad habits, if you can stay out of debt. Now, I will say, disclaimer, I do have student debt from my undergrad degree, but I got an undergrad degree out of it, so that was worth it to me. I mean sort of more like frivolous debt, like extreme credit card spending on things you don't need. So try and avoid bad habits, avoid debt, and avoid addictions as much as possible. In my first year at university, I definitely had like an emotional reliance on alcohol, so I definitely don't drink as much anymore, and I learned to have like a healthy relationship with it. I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, so like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong necessarily with like drinking alcohol in moderation, obviously. Always stay on the right side of the law, guys. I'm saying that as a disclaimer, but avoid getting like dependent on anything in terms of like substance wise, and even in terms of other addictions as well. Like, you can have, I don't know, like a gaming addiction. Anything that you're overly reliant on is probably going to detract from your ability to pursue your goals and ability to get what you want, all right? So kind of avoid those distractions as much as you can. The next thing is that you should always be aiming for excellence. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, it might sound fairly self-explanatory, but make yourself as useful and as awesome as possible, okay? You should always be aiming to be the best person that you can be, to achieve the most that you can achieve, to really get outside of your comfort zone, to really stretch your capabilities, to do things sometimes which might scare you a little bit because they're so ambitious, okay? So always aim for excellence, always aim to be the hardest working and most knowledgeable person that you can be, okay? And not necessarily the most knowledgeable person in the room, because if you are the most knowledgeable person in the room, you need to find a different room with more knowledgeable people who can mentor you, okay? But always try and aim for personal excellence and always try to keep improving yourself. The next thing is that if you want to get what you want in general, you need to be charming and well presented. Now, how do we become charming and well presented? Becoming well presented is a mixture of your manner and your appearance, okay? So I'm not saying that necessarily you have to look like a supermodel, like, God knows I don't look like a supermodel, but it's really helpful to, like, dress well, to, you know, like, take care of your personal hygiene, okay? So, like, really basic things like that really contribute to, like, a positive experience. Having good posture, being, like, upbeat and smiley and friendly to people, knowing how to adopt a professional manner, okay? And these will all contribute to you being charming as well. Another thing that I want to talk to you, and I will talk about in the next section, is learning to listen. That's also really important. But in general, you need to be as sort of sociable and charming and well presented as you possibly can. Okay, and I have done other videos sort of on this topic, so if you want to learn how to be kind of better put together, go and check those out. I might make playlists actually, because I realise that in a lot of videos I say, oh, I did another video about this, and then you have no idea what to search, so maybe I should do playlists. I don't know, should I do playlists? Let me know in the comments if you'd like playlists on various topics, because I could easily do that, and that would be something that I might just do anyway. Okay, let's move on. Learn to listen, okay? You have to learn to listen. It is not a negotiable thing. Nobody likes someone who spends the entire time talking about themselves. And I realise that I sound hypocritical saying this because my channel is all about me talking about my experiences and so on and so forth. But I hope that it brings some value to you and it's not just me yapping about me. And I feel like if it was just me yapping about me, then people wouldn't listen. So yeah, anyway, learn to listen as much as possible. People love to talk about themselves, and you can very easily come across as charming if you learn to listen and ask people questions, and this is all a part of active listening, okay? So if you ask people questions, then they will see that you're genuinely interested in them, in their topic, and they'll come away with this sort of like warm, happy glow and this positive impression of you, okay? So learn to listen as much as you can, and you learn a lot of stuff by listening as well. The next thing, if you want to get what you want, and this is maybe one of the top tips, I don't know why I didn't say this straight away, but if you want to get what you want in any situation, okay, this is a hard and fast rule, it always works every time. Solve a problem. Seriously, this is the basis for getting hired. This is the basis for pretty much any problem that you want, okay? You could start a business by solving a problem. You could, like, literally, all of the money in the world goes towards people who solve problems, and those problems are, like, very varied, but if you can find a problem and solve the problem, I guarantee you will get what you want, okay? Because you can get paid for it, you can get, like, you know, you can network, okay? So solve problems, and in every situation, always be asking yourself, what's the problem that I could solve in this situation that is going to get me what I want? Okay, so this can be really indirect, this could be really direct, as in, you know, for example, in 2024, I started eating healthier because I really wasn't satisfied with how I felt, like I didn't really feel healthy, and so on and so forth. So my problem was I didn't feel healthy. And then I was solving that problem directly by being like, okay, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to actually try and sleep better, I'm going to hydrate better. Okay, so I was solving that problem for myself. But you can solve problems for other people, and that is kind of the whole basis of, like, business outsourcing, okay? So you get, like, a consultant, and a business owner will bring in a consultant because the consultant has expertise and they can solve problems for the business owner, okay? So solving a problem will get you whatever you want in life, be it, like, I don't know, a healthier body, more money, like, a house, I don't know, through more money, whatever. Solve problems. Seriously, this is one of the biggest tips to getting what you want, is find the problem that is in the way of you getting what you want and solve it. All right, and finally, I told you I'd circle back to this. Always lead what's in it with what's in it for the other person, okay? Your own needs are important, and I always talk about how you should, like, put your own needs first, but in this sort of marketing scenario, put those to the side for 1 minute and present your own needs only in the context of how it benefits them and afterwards, okay? So you need to really lead with what value you can offer the other person. What do you bring to the table? So 2 great examples of this. When I was applying to university, I think they may have scrapped them now, but I had to write a personal statement which was, like, to do with why I wanted to be on this course and why I wanted to get into this university, okay? And why I wanted to study this subject. And a big mistake that people make with personal statements is to say, oh, you know, it's always been my dream to study at your, like, wonderful prestigious university. No, absolutely not. Extremely loud, incorrect buzzer. That may be true, but you're leading with me, what I want, okay? You need to lead with how you can add value, okay? And it's very much the same in interviews. In interviews, I never talk about what I want first of all. I always talk about wanting to add to the team, wanting to add value, wanting to help a business like flourish, help them thrive. I always talk about how I want to contribute my skills to building something meaningful for them, okay? And then afterwards, I talk about how wonderful it is, you know, this is usually when they've made an offer or something. I talk about how wonderful it is that they have such a lovely working environment and I'm excited to join the team, but later. Okay, later, not to begin with. Okay, first of all, you need to appeal to their selfish side by saying what's in it for them. All right, that is how to get what you want. That's how I mastered the art of getting what I want. And honestly, I've kind of got a lot of things that I want. Maybe I should have led the video with, here's a list of things that I got that I wanted. But anyway, I've given you all the advice now. Do with that what you will. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. I'll see you next time. Go and get what you want. Bye.